Nimada, put on your red shoes and dance the blues.
Oh, sweetie, you look just cool.
Yeah? Under the moonlight, the serious moonlight. It's good to have glasses just so you can... Something doesn't add up. Huh? Hey, BOOZHOO! Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the live stream show that we like to call BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. By Michael Lyons. My name is NANABOOZHOO. Over here is the lovely and the talented Natasha. Ikadon BOOZHOO Winnie Mushane.
BOOZHOO, everybody! How you doing?
And today, oh wow, we got a really good show planned for you all. Planned for you guys. Today's OJIBWE word of the day. No, that's not how I want to start. Oh, there's Bagheera, just a little kitten. This is a really long intro, huh?
Yeah, we really should maybe...
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's almost done. Yeah, let's just call it good enough. BOOZHOO. Enough nonsense. Today, you know what I was thinking about doing today, sweetie?
What's that?
Throwing my hat over there. Yesterday we started reading OJIBWE. And OJIBWE is a comic book that Michael Lyons wrote. And no, it's not. I mean, it is, but that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is grief relief. There's a comic book written by Michael Lyons about grief. I know a lot of you are going to say, grief? What is that? Osada Wendam. Osada Wendam. I got a little Jagog here. And he's just sad. Got a cloud and it's raining. And he goes, Osada Wendam. That's our word for grief. Grief. Good grief, Charlie Brown. And so today, I kind of want to talk. I mean, I'm hoping the BOOZHOO crew shows up. I'm noticing nobody's on the live chat yet. And we're 5 minutes in. So maybe nobody's here, or maybe I screwed up the live chat again somehow. Before I get too far in,
it says we've got one viewer.
Okay, maybe nobody's here. Because I somehow suspect that our one viewer could be us. So nobody's here. BOOZHOO. Or BOOZHOO to the one person who's here and not saying hello. So this is for people in the future. I hope the BOOZHOO crew stops by and chimes in. But today I just kind of want to talk to the kids. So, kids. I'm kind of like, think of me as your old Uncle NANABOOZHOO. You know, back in the days of the grandfathers, in the traditional Anishinaabe way, sometimes your your uncle could talk to you about some difficult stuff. You know, lots of people's uncles sometimes became medicine men or just, wise sages as they got older. So today I'm going to talk about OJIBWE, grief. So what is grief? And is it different than just the blues? Oh yeah, my doctor says I have depression. Okay, what's that? Well, grief is kind of like depression. It's like having a broken heart. Grief is the feeling. It's more than just a feeling. It's the state of being you find yourself in when you have a great loss. So maybe your cat got murdered by the neighborhood dogs. Maybe one of those big, mean, wild dogs finally caught up to your cat and killed your cat. And now you have not depression. It's different than that. I mean, yeah, it's sad what happened. But you actually have OJIBWE, grief. And you might walk around with a cloud over your head. It might feel like it's raining. Everything might just seem like it's just, I don't like anything anymore. That's what OJIBWE is. So today, let me go back down to the grief relief cover. Whoops. I have too many pages here, sweetie.
Do you?
Yeah. So grief relief. Grief relief is a story of Jagag, the skunk, and Stephen A. Lyons, his friend who flies in a spaceship. And this is written by Michael Lyons. And I'm just going to read a couple pages and see what we think. And okay, so yesterday when we left off, I'll just pick it up from here. This is Grief Relief, and it starts out, Captain Stephen's log, stardate March 24th, 2016. And he says, my friend Jagag, that's the skunk, my friend Jagag is sad. His grandmother has recently made her journey to the spirit world, so now he suffers. I've traveled all over this galaxy, and still the most mysterious thing to me is this thing called grief. You see, even to the alien, it's a mysterious thing. We all go through it, and yet it's still so strange, so alien, and so human. Ace, what are you doing? Nothing. Just scanning the skunk's depression, the skunk's thoughts for depression. He's scanning Jagag on Earth. And then he can read Jagag's thoughts. I still can't believe she's really gone. I knew she was sick, but I never thought she'd cut it out. That's private. Stephen's telling him, you shouldn't, spy on somebody. I never thought she'd actually die. But how are we going to help him how are we going to know how to help him if we can't read his mind? The same way Earthlings do. He's not sure how Earthlings do it. And how is that? I don't know. Computer, what's the best way to help someone who's dealing with grief? See, even us aliens, they got to Google. Beep boop. There are 10 billion, that number's all screwed up, 345,987,547 adequate responses to your question, but no definitive answer. There are, however, 10 basic stages of grief. 10. I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, I thought there were 5. Yeah, we'll just wait. Okay, let's hear about that. What are they? Number 1, shock. Not everyone goes through a period of shock. Some people are able to express their feelings right away. My heart is breaking. Some will feel numbness and tears won't arise. They may be in a state of denial. I can't believe it. Gradually, the bereaved become aware of what happened when they are able to cry. Oh, and let's look at a little skunk. He's got tears in his eyes. All right. So that's the first stage of grief. Hold on, I want to pull up the top of that again. Shock. You ever have that? You're like, what? I can't believe my ears. They call it shock. Sometimes in grief, you might just be feeling a feeling of shock. So, what happens then? Number 2, emotional release. One begins to feel distress and hurt. The emotional release, that's when you start to cry. Suppression of emotions may result in mental illness. Earthlings seem particularly uncomfortable with crying. That's little Jagok's crying. Oh yeah. That's how you spell crying. But Stephen says earthlings are uncomfortable with crying. Crying is common and very beneficial for recovery. I think this is the computer telling them that crying is okay. Overeating, explosive outbursts, and violent temper tantrums are just a few side effects of not allowing oneself to simply weep. If you don't cry, you're going to overeat, you're going to have outbursts, you're going to have violent temper tantrums. It's better just to have a good cry. I wonder why. It's seen as a sign of weakness. Oh, that's just silly. Stephen says it's silly. When something bad happens, it's okay to cry. That's what he's saying. Don't keep that bottled up. It's true. Earthmen have the hardest time crying, and therefore often grieve for a much longer time. That's the other thing. Yeah, you'll grieve longer if you don't never cry. They will find themselves obsessing on the person who died. Number 3, preoccupation with the deceased. The bereaved may try to think of other things, but find him or herself unable to shift their minds away from thoughts of the deceased person. That's a preoccupation with the person who died. You're always on my mind, Grandma. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Poor little Jagog. His grandma's dead, and I can't stop thinking about her. Although difficult, this is quite normal. Symptoms of physical and emotional distress. This is number 4. Come in waves, some lasting from 20 minutes to even hours. I don't feel well. Some common distresses are sleeplessness, tightness in the throat. These are the common feelings you might go through if you're feeling grief. A shortness of breath, empty, hollow feeling in the stomach, lack of power, digestive problems, poor appetite, a need for sighing. A lot of that. You'll do a lot of sighing. Sigh. All right. Maybe that's a good place to... Image 4. We'll pick it up again tomorrow. But let's talk just a little bit about grief. We come from a long line of people who at some point, everybody experiences grief. So grief relief is like, what is the relief? Are you just going to be moping around sad for the rest of your life? Or what can you do? First thing you can do is be aware of it. There's something's happening to you. Grandma just started her journey. And this very natural thing that every human being has to go through. At some point, you are now going through. It's called having a heartbreak. And, what do you think, sweetie? Should we have a conversation about it?
Well, I was kind of wondering, nobody still has said anything in the live chat.
I'll bet you I have it. Is it because I did something stupid?
I hope not.
Okay. Okay. Hey, BOOZHOO crew, if anybody's here, I can't see your comments. So, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to log out and I'm going to log right back in. So, BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO will return in just a few minutes. I will see you again. GOFUNDME. Minute.